Psalm 55 verse 6. And I said, "Oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then I would fly away and be at rest." The dream that God has placed in our hearts of the loveliest kingdom and the loveliest King, Jesus, ruling in this world, is to be worked out somehow in our everyday lives. Now that's not easy, but surrender is not an option. It's not a healthy option. It's not a godly option. God promises to help us in the battle, but not if we surrender. Joseph had overcome the dilemma of how to live in an idolatrous country, Egypt, whilst maintaining his dream and his integrity. God, he said, has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. This was probably one of the factors that contributed to the brothers' failure to recognize him. You see, they had reviled him as a dreamer many years before. All of them had inherited the spiritual outlook of their father, Jacob, but believed that they must remain at a distance from the idolatrous world around them. And so they became shepherds, a profession in which they could meditate in the fields and pray under the starry skies, free from the frenetic and corrupting influence of the cities. But before them was the highly respected viceroy, Joseph, who advised Pharaoh on matters of state and known to be a man of integrity and righteousness and practicality. Even if there were strong similarities between him and their long-lost brother Joseph, there was no way that he could have risen into such prominence in an idolatrous society. Joseph was a dreamer, and surely he would have perished in Egypt. Even after Joseph revealed himself, there was an atmosphere of disbelief. It was a level of spirituality, you see, that they didn't think possible for somebody in close contact with the world doing business with idolaters. They couldn't recognize him. Joseph teaches us that true holiness is robust and more than able to stay fresh and relevant in a corrupt world. And that's the journey the Father has sent us on. That is our mission. The secret is to bring him in on everything that we do. Not only prayer and praise and worship, but also our everyday work and responsibilities. We shall fly away when God gives the go-ahead. Until then, we are in the world, but not of it. John 17, verse 14 following. They didn't recognize Joseph because of the quality of his holiness. And one of the reasons the Jewish authorities didn't recognize Jesus as the Messiah was because he ate and drank with sinners, instead of studying in the yeshiva and praying in the temple. You see, they had expectations of the Messiah that they had conjured out of their own imaginations and couldn't recognize him when he came. They are still waiting for a Messiah who is not God's Messiah.